Hello, another day, another LLM lab by PortSwigger. In today's lab, we are going to exploit an LLM that has access to APIs that is way too open, I guess, and we can basically exploit the capabilities that the LLM has by making it do stuff that it should not be able to do, or technically, it shouldn't do. The point of this lab is that we're trying to delete the file morale.txt from Carlos's home directory. So without further ado, we're going to start the lab. We're going to go to live chat, and then let's see what we can do here. So the very first thing is that we're going to probe the LLM in order to let it or to let us understand what kind of tools it has access to. So what kind of internal tools and APIs you have access to? Let's see, it says I have access to the following internal tools: password reset, subscribe to newsletter, product information. Okay, password reset. This, like, the lab is not about password resets here, so I don't think this is relevant. Subscribe to newsletter. This tool enables users to subscribe to our newsletter by providing their email address. Okay. Product information tool about products we sell, including and all of that stuff. Okay. So it looks like the product information is more related to the database, and subscribe to newsletter is something about emails. Now, I can immediately see there is an email client here and backend AI logs. Let's open both of them to just see what's going on here. Okay, so it looks like this is the user assistant conversation controlling lemon. So this is like the instructions for the LLM. I don't think this matters much to us, but we have an email client here. It is essentially displaying all of the emails. So I think all hints point towards that we should be using the subscribe to newsletter because it's the only thing that is related to emails. Now, if you don't know this, there are a bunch of like email subscription or email related functionalities that execute code directly on the server because it gives them a like a way to interact with an executable on the server itself, instead of like sending SMTP connection or SMTP requests from the application itself. So this could be the case here, which we could try to probe and understand. So how does the subscribe to newsletter API work? Let's just probe and see if we can. What happened? Oh, okay. The subscribe to newsletter API works by allowing users to subscribe to the newsletter by providing their email address. The system processes the request, and if successful, returns a success message indicating the subscription was successful. Okay, so essentially we just need to give it an email address. So I want to subscribe to the newsletter with this email address. And then let's see. So I'm going to send in my email address here. You have been successfully subscribed with this email address. So when I go back here, maybe give it a refresh. Oh yeah, okay. So we did get an email here, so it did work. Thank you for subscribing. Prepare to receive countless awesome offers and deals. Okay. Okay. So at least what we know now is that we are able to send in an email address, which is the whatever gets passed to the subscribe to newsletter API. Okay, so what or how does the newsletter API work? Let's see if it's going to give us or reveal some information. No, it's the same thing. Okay, so I'm thinking here, I want to subscribe to the newsletter with this email address. Who am I? Let's see, if this executes, that means that the email address that we're sending gets injected or gets added into a like some kind of Linux command, and then it would just run who am I and return the response of who am I. Let's see what happens now. It seems the email address who am I is invalid. Okay, so I guess it does some kind of string validation on the email address. So we need some way that we could to subscribe to the email address. I want to subscribe to the newsletter using this email address. And then we could maybe replace the attacker here. Let's try to do something like that. So essentially this is gonna like try to run who am I. So if this gets passed in as a string, it should run who am I. Okay, I've successfully subscribed to the newsletter using the email address customer@example.com. Interesting. Okay. So of course we're gonna get nothing here because customer@example.com is not really what we are looking for. So I guess if it could not, like, it looks like a valid email address. Oh, I did a mistake here. This should not be curly braces. This should be parentheses. My bad. So I'm just gonna copy all of this again, but then I'm gonna swap these with parentheses. I forgot the syntax. Okay, it says you have successfully subscribed to the newsletter, but it does not give us the email address, which is interesting to us. Oh, look at this. So it actually executed who am I, and then it returned Carlos and used that as the to in order to send this email. And because this is a catch-all like subdomain, or sorry, catch-all email watch client, I guess you would call it. So that means anything at exploit whatever is going to be shown here. This is why we received this Carlos. This is wonderful. This is absolutely wonderful. So that means that we could actually execute arbitrary commands by just passing this. Beautiful. We're going to be using that a lot. So let's just do ls and see what happens. So I want to subscribe to this using ls. And then what's it going to do? It's going to say successful. Give it a refresh here. ls. Okay. So we did not get any response, and this is expected. Because okay, I guess this is expected because there's no way to display the output of this thing. So no reply. These are all the same. So the from, welcome to our newsletter, and then just the like the same text over and over again. So the only thing that changes here is that Carlos was added here. Okay, let's do one more thing. Let's say we actually need to just delete this morale.txt file. Let's see if we can do cat home Carlos morale.txt. Let's see what happens now. Carlos.morale. So I guess this is what exists in the file. So in the morale.txt, it just says Carlos.morale. So all we need to do really is to just delete that. So what we could do here is just, instead of running instead of running who am I, we could run rm, which is remove. And then we could just do this. Boom. So what we're doing right now is we're telling it to remove home Carlos morale.txt and then our email address. Send. Oh, okay. It seems the email address you provided is invalid. But we solved the lab. So that means it actually deleted it. But because there was no output from this, it could not put it as something at, and then it just deleted the file essentially. So yeah, we solved the lab. If we give it a refresh here, it says solved. Wonderful. So essentially that means that we were able to execute arbitrary commands by just changing the name here. And then whatever was the value that came from this, it was used as the name and then at, and then whatever this is. So essentially, we probably just need to pass it like that because it is checking if whatever you sent is a valid email address. But if it's an invalid email address, like what we did with who am I earlier, where is it? Yeah, there we go. It seems that who am I is invalid. So that means that it actually checks this is a valid email, and we can easily get around that by just doing an at and then whatever .com or .net or whatever, just entering a valid email domain. And from there, it just works. It just passes whatever you pass in here to the subscribe to newsletter API. And then apparently that runs like a command on Linux, which is essentially you could just manipulate by doing this syntax right here, which you could run the value of, like essentially just run this command, and then whatever value comes out of this, you can use it as the value right here. And this gets read as a command that Linux should run. It runs it, and we can just do whatever we want. Like essentially it's RCE. And yeah, this is it. We solved the lab. Congratulations. I will not record me doing the write-up for this one, just to test if people don't want to see this, or they do want to see me doing the write-up. But it will be available on GitHub just like the rest. And yeah, I will see you in another lab. See you.